may look familiar to some, as the game was first released in 2012 for the PlayStation Vita. It was also released to Android and iOS as well, and now the game has finally been released to Steam. A cute puzzle platformer of sorts. Does the game hold up on the Steam platform? Does the game hold up on the Steam platform? Let's start with a basic synopsis of the story. You are a small skeleton, and a princess has been captured by a big evil dude. You help her to escape despite the fact that she really can't see you, because you've seemingly grown attached to the princess. Your job is to escort the princess through the hazards that she will come across and get her safely home. Now, I haven't beat the game yet, as this is my first impressions video. However, the cutscenes that play out so far are cute, and yet they say a lot. Even without the dialogue, the game gets across the point rather nicely of the scene that it's going for. But let's get to the meat of the game, gameplay. Like I said, your job is simple. Escort the princess to safety. You'll run into levels such as the kitchen and the clock tower, as you'll attempt to make your way out of the evil castle. The princess isn't exactly very capable. She'll move forward until she can't traverse no more, and then will either stop or back up accordingly to the situation, you pushing a box at her, for example. You will have to make a path for her to be able to go through by pushing boxes, pulling levers, and various tasks of the sort. Now, later on in the game, you'll get new abilities that will introduce new mechanics. You'll get white chalk that allows you to draw and connect things. Red chalk will allow you to set things on fire while using it. You'll also be able to drink a potion that'll turn you into a hero for a limited time, allowing you to kill off baddies and pick up the princess to get her over some terrain. Now note, this is only after the first few worlds, mind you, so keep that in mind, as there are a total of 16 stages in all with about 10 levels in them each. Now, puzzle games are unique in some senses. They're the kind of ones that you want a little bit of difficulty, at least in my opinion. So is the puzzling challenging here? Yes. And usually it's a solution that's right in front of your eyes that you keep on missing over and over again. Let me put it this way. This game made me feel stupid for missing things, but in a puzzle game, I find it to be refreshing. The game makes you think about your scenario and what you have in front of you to best get through the situation. Not all hazards are initially clear. Plenty of times I lost a level because I got the princess too far, ended up squishing her with a box, or squishing myself because I pushed the princess back into a button. It's honestly refreshing to have a challenge in front of you, and if you ever get that frustrated, well, besides Googling the solution, you can always use one of your overall 10 skips to get past a level. This adds a level of flexibility to the game, which is really appreciated. Now, can the game be too challenging? Honestly, I can see people getting frustrated with it, but it doesn't really reuse concepts all that much. It really makes you think, which I think is the point of a game like this. Yeah, you may have to come back and play a level again after thinking about it for a while, but honestly, it's good to see an actual puzzle game challenge the user. There may be a tiny bit of trial and error if you're not seeing the solution that you may run into, and it sucks that there's no restart right away button that is available. You'll have to go through the pause menu to restart. Now, here's the thing. Controls is where things get weird about this game. Some people may have a very negative reaction to these controls at first. However, I think the game knows what it's doing. There is no controller support in this game, but to me, there's a reason for that. Like I said, you could set things on fire and connect things using the chalk, and you do that with the mouse. Now, on the Vita, iOS, and Android apps, it used the touchscreen. But here you've got the mouse, and it would be a little bit different to use a controller to do this. It wouldn't be impossible, but it would be a little bit different. Now, the default controls also seem weird at first, as your use button and your jump button are bounded to the comma and period keys. But it does make sense when you realize you have to use your mouse, and they're naturally over there. Unfortunately for the lefties though, there's no way to rebind those keys, which is really disappointing. You'll also run into bosses, which do change up the formula a tiny bit, but the first two were lacking compared to the puzzles. They both have different mechanics, but neither of them really used the puzzle elements introduced up to that point like they could have, and it felt like a little bit of a letdown there. Now, I've given a lot of good feedback to this game. Is this game one to pick up on Steam? That's where things get interesting. You see, like I just said, the game is out on iOS and Android, and on there it's $1. But the fact is that the game is out on iOS and Android. That seems to be less of a deal than the $10 or $6 during this initial week that the game is out on. There isn't necessarily a difference I see right away between the versions either, and so keep that in mind when looking at this game. I can't guarantee you that there's any difference at this point. I haven't played through both, and I haven't found any resources online to tell me. So note that this is a big factor in whether to pick it up on Steam or not. Regardless of the platform you play it on, Dokuro is still worth the price of admission. You'll get hours of gameplay on this one from what I see, and the cute art style and story will definitely keep you around even after the game has made you pop a blood vessel or two from trying to figure it out. This game is worth playing, and I will be playing it through. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragnix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.